So let's talk about food.
That's
Okay. So what do you want help on around food?
I run into trouble with later night eating. After I've had dinner and some time goes by and I know that I don't actually need to be eating anything.
Okay.
I either tend to want salty, savory. I want both usually, salty, savory, and then something sweet, and that will either be something chocolatey or something like sweet fruity.
What's the problem with it?
It's putting on extra weight that I don't want.
Okay. What are your culprits of choice here in terms of foods?
Savory chips that I would put in the kids' snacks, like
they're pretty amazingly yummy.
yes,
like there's one, the Santa Fe barbecue. Now
that's
has
that one
that's
for sure.
terrible. That one has
lime verde, whatever.
Yeah, the lime verde.
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
But I do like a plain old salty
chip.
potato chip,
Yeah.
like the Lay's.
Oh,
Sorry for
Lay's.
the brand name.
They're magnificent. I mean, they're just a masterpiece
plain old
of
chips. No ruffles. Keep the ruffles out of my chips. I just want
They're perfect.
the classic potato chip.
Okay.
Sweet. Or cheeses too. I have a thing about cheeses.
Okay.
If there's any cheese in my house.
So this is okay. So it's okay. So what I'm getting is almost like it's late at night.
I get peckish. And I want to start pecking away at every really yummy thing that I have in the house.
So the really important thing about food cravings is there's a couple of different things, and then we can do some tapping. But one is that cravings often signal nutritional deficiencies.
Okay.
So there could actually be nutrients that your body is wanting, and you're reaching for the salt, the sugar, the this, the that, to make up for what your body doesn't have. And then the other piece is gut flora, which, like, if we don't,
I'm sure is completely out of whack with me.
Yeah. So it's not just a matter of...
I've had a couple of surgeries, so I know that I won't think about that all the time, but when that subject comes up, I go, oh yes, that's right. I'm sure my gut has never been replenished from what the surgeries and medications and antibiotics, all of that did.
Okay.
So
that's so yeah. I emphasize this, and because it's part of my work that I'm really fascinated by this connection between gut flora and food cravings, because those little malevolent critters,
they're hungry
and they're in charge. They're the ones who are saying, go get those chips with the pico de gallo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want that.
You want that.
Really do.
Yeah.
More than you want to fit into those jeans that just keep hanging in the closet, and then taunting you.
Is there an emotion that goes along with this? A feeling?
Well, I just blew probably any kind of discipline that I had today.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll vamp up for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
For a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it just continues, but I don't know, emotionally.
So it sounds like regret.
I do regret.
Like there's the ramping up, the satiety, and then the regret.
Yes, because I feel weak-willed.
Okay.
Like here, even as I know what my bigger commitment is, I'm giving into this, this desire that I have, this craving that I have that's not serving me.
Mm-hmm.
And my commitment that I have for myself that would serve me better. Why am I pushing that aside? So I don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I feel defiant too. Like I'll say, it's my life.
Yes, the rebel.
If I want to be chubby, I will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good.
I'll do what I want. My boyfriend thinks I'm beautiful just the way I am.
So I'm just gonna,
He doesn't care. He'd
doesn't.
probably hand me a bag of chips and say,
Keep
it up.
eating,
I
honey.
love what you're doing. Maybe not quite that far,
but you're feeling the impact of it, and that's what matters.
I feel it. I don't feel as good in my clothes.
The thing too is about food issues is once we start to, talk about them and crack the shell, so to speak, we get into a whole web of other issues. But for right now, let's just focus on the food.
Okay.
Now, typically, if I'm working with food cravings, I would put the lemon meringue pie, or I would put the bag of chips right here in front of you, and I would torture you with it. Like, no, you can't have it. We're going to tap until
I don't want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but in the absence of that, let's just go ahead and hold that image of you eating the chips the sweet, the cheese. And let's
I
just
think
say...
the lemon meringue pie is going to be the one right now. I'll picture that.
Oh,
That's
really?
good. Yeah.
Okay, but we're gonna tap on
Because
this.
really, now I'd like a piece now that we've been
Now that
talking
we've
about it.
mentioned-
So that's
I know
probably
the
a
mention-
good one to picture. Yes.
The mentioning it alone can...
Yes, was like,
But let's focus on what you originally talked about. I mean, we can put the lemon meringue pie here, but with tapping, it helps to get really specific.
Mm-hmm.
So let's focus in on the pattern of late night eating.
Okay.
The behavior pattern of late night eating. Okay. All right. Let's do a little tapping on the karate chop point. Okay. Even though I have this pattern of eating late at night, and it does satisfy me, it satisfies a part of me. And another part of me feels regret that I do this. I would like to make peace with this pattern. And I'd like to make peace with myself. Okay. Even though I have these really mixed feelings, part of me says I can eat whatever I want. I can be as big as I need to be. And another part of me feels this regret. Another part of me feels really weak-willed. And then really uncomfortable trying to get in my jeans. All these conflicting parts of me. I love and accept every one of them. Okay, let's go up to the top of the head. This pattern that I have. This pattern. Okay, so let's go back to last night. Okay, so there I am. And it's late at night. What time is it?
It's late at night. 9:30.
Okay, it's 9:30. Kids are in bed.
No.
Kids
Spring
are up.
break.
Spring break. Okay, the kids are up.
Kids are up.
And we're watching game. What did you say?
I'm watching House of Cards.
I'm watching House of Cards. Kids
I'm alone.
I'm alone.
They're playing PS3.
Oh, okay. And I'm alone, and it's late. I'm watching TV. And then I decide. What? I'm gonna go get
something salty.
So I want something salty to eat. Yeah?
Yes.
I want something salty and crunchy.
I want something salty and crunchy.
And I know I've got that bag of...
Mojito, lime, whatever.
Okay,
yummy chips.
The bag of the Mojo Lime yummy chips.
Okay,
then I'm getting off the couch.
I'm getting off my bed.
Sitting
in bed.
Going in and getting the chips. And as I'm reaching for them, this little voice is saying, no, don't. And then another part of me says, who cares? I don't care. I want the chips. I don't care. Yeah? Okay. I don't care. I can't keep my discipline anyway. So I don't care. What's another bag of chips going to do to me? I don't care. My boyfriend likes my body the way it is. I don't care. So then I take the chips. Okay, and then what happens? I go back to the room. And
I eat my chips.
Okay, and they're really good. Eat another one. Eat a few more. And my body is saying, I'm pretty close to being done. Almost done.
Shift to wanting something.
Okay, then I
sweet.
Okay, then I want something sweet
to follow it up.
And then I go for.
But if there were Skittles, I would have eaten those.
Okay, so it could have been
lemon meringue pie.
Oh,
I
the lemon meringue pie.
Chosen that instead if it was there.
It could have been lemon meringue pie on top of the chips. So this pattern that I have. By the time I'm down into the sweet. I'm just gone. Is that true?
I'm just going for it. Whatever I feel like eating, I'm just going to do it.
And then after I'm done, I go to sleep. Okay, and I feel weak-willed.
Kind of weak-willed.
Yeah, I don't feel very good.
I don't feel good. I don't feel inspired.
I don't feel inspired. Okay. It didn't really give me what I was after.
It didn't really give me what I was after.
And then I went to sleep.
And then I went to sleep.
And then I feel bad.
And I feel bad.
And I try to double down the next day.
I try to double down the next day.
Thinking that it's all a matter of my will.
Thinking that it's all a matter of my will. I really do think that.
Yeah. And I give myself a hard time.
And I give myself a hard time.
And then the pattern starts all over again.
And the pattern starts all over again.
This pattern. I'm ready to have a different experience.
I'm ready to have a different experience.
In the meantime,
I
love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Exactly where I'm at.
Exactly where I'm at. I really would like to break this pattern.
You would?
Yes,
Okay.
I really would.
What came up while we were tapping?
What really stood out was the thinking it's really just a matter of my will, that maybe it really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I beat myself up for something that's really not the problem. But I still think maybe it is. I just need to have stronger will.
Even though I feel really weak-willed.
Even though I feel really weak-willed.
And I beat myself up for this.
I beat myself up for this
pattern.
I beat myself up for this pattern.
What would it be like if I could just let that go?
What would it be like if I could just let that go?
I would love to let that go.
I would love to let that go.
And I would love to just stop beating myself up.
And I'd love to start beating myself up.
Okay. But I do beat myself up.
I really beat myself up a lot. I really beat myself up a lot.
I tell myself
that I should just be stronger.
I should just be stronger.
Just don't have it. Just don't have it.
Just don't have it. Just be stronger.
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me? Why don't I just do that?
Why don't I just do that? Why can't I just walk away from it?
Yeah, why can't I just walk away from it?
And I would like to change the pattern.
And I'd like to change the pattern.
I'd love to break this habit.
I'd like to break this habit.
I don't know if I can.
I don't know if I can.
I've tried. And I failed.
And I failed.
And I've tried and failed.
I've tried and I failed.
But what if I could really do it?
What if I could really do it?
Who would I be if I were sane with my food?
Who would I be if I were sane with my food?
What would my life be like?
What would my life be like?
I'm willing to love myself.
I'm willing to love myself.
Enough to say no.
Enough to say no.
To the things that don't serve me.
To the things that don't serve me.
Okay. Wow. How's the lemon meringue pie doing right here?
I forgot it was there.
Hey! Okay. So this is interesting.
And I actually, now that you brought it to my attention, I'm not really feeling like, oh, that would be so good right now.
Okay. Now that you know how to do this, you can just, if you can catch it, sometimes with cravings it can get really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the rebel really kicks in, like I don't want to tap before. But if you can, like you're watching House of Cards and then like, okay, here, you're gonna get up and you're gonna go. But before you do, okay, even though I'm about to get up and go for this snack, and it's really not the best thing for me, but I want it anyway. Like if you can just do a round or two of tapping and then just see what happens.
See if the craving goes.
Yeah. And also see what comes up in terms of the resistance to that. Like, does anger come up? Does a sense of like victimization come up? A sense of outrage? Like, cause when we stop, engaging in the substance, we're popping the lid on
what there is instead of that.
Yeah, and it can be a real Pandora's box, and that's where the tapping can get really, really deep and really, really helpful. Great. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you.
This is wonderful.
You're welcome.